and welcome back to my channel, Dallas's Eagle's Nest. Today is all about tips and tricks that I have for you when you're planning your vacation to the Wizarding World. Now this list is going to be a little bit long, so this video may be a little bit longer, but I hope it is some information that you can use for your vacation. That way you can avoid some mistakes that me and my husband made, and maybe avoid some mistakes that I saw some other people make. So, without further ado, I think we need to get into it because it is a long list. First and foremost, if you are staying at the Universal Studios Resort, like Dockside, Surfside, Cabana Bay, the other ones, Hard Rock Hotel, you will get an automatic early entrance, which means the general public normally comes in at 9, you will come in at 8. It is a great time to go get your Starbucks, parents, if you need it to fuel you for the day without that long line. It's also a great time for the kids to run to Diagon Alley and get a picture with the dragon behind them spitting that fire out, or going to Hogsmeade and getting a picture of the castle behind them without everyone in the background. It's also just a good idea if you want to maybe ride a certain ride and you know it's going to get busy. Go ahead and get in that line, because me and my husband, we should have done that for when he went to the Velocicoaster. That ride was almost 2 hours long when he went, and we should have waited until the next day when we had that early admission, and he would have been able to get on a lot quicker. Now, I had to stand out for that ride. I've had open heart surgery and 2 lung surgeries, so I could not ride that ride, nor could I ride the Hulk. And those two are my husband's favorite rides, so I just graciously sat out so he would get to enjoy them. Also, this was one of the mistakes that I saw a lot of people make when you go to get your tickets. If you plan on going to Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley, make sure you have a park-to-park pass. Now, Hogsmeade is on the islands side, and the Diagon Alley is Universal side. So if you've got a ticket that says one park, you only are able to go to maybe Diagon Alley, or if you've got the other side, you may be only going to Hogsmeade. So if you want to visit both parks in one day, you need to get the park-to-park pass. That will also grant you permission to be able to ride the Hogwarts Express. Now, a lot of people made the mistake and thought Hogwarts Express was a ride. It is a ride, but it was only if you had a park-to-park pass. So make sure when you go to get your tickets, if you want to see both sides of that park and both sides of the Harry Potter world, you need to make sure you have a park-to-park pass. Otherwise, they will turn you away very quickly. I saw many little kids start crying, and I felt so bad for them, but apparently their parents just did not get the ticket for that. So make sure you get that park-to-park pass. Now, if your little ones are wanting robes, they have them there, but they are $139. I know there's plus tax. I'm not sure with tax what they would be, but they start at $139, and those were the robes. I did look at other things. There was a lot of shirts that were like $35. I have a Hogwarts crest shirt. I paid, I think, $25 for it. But the robes, if your little ones, or even you, parents, want your own robe, they do have them. They have them in different places in the Wizarding World. They have them at Filcher's Emporium. They have them in the Madam's place. They have them, I think there was one other place, in 2 other places in Diagon Alley they had them. And always they will let you put them on to try them, because I thought I was one size, but I was actually another size. So always make sure to try those on before you put them on. And always take in consideration, you won't, your clothes underneath, so you will have to have some room with your arms. And that was my issue when, now I did not get my robe. I am going to get my robe this year. But I wanted to go ahead and try them on just so I know what to order when I go online. And also, parents, if your little one really wanted that robe and you just weren't able to get it, you can go on universalstudios.com and purchase that robe online, and it's the same price. They will ship it to you to your house. So that's a good thing if you leave that park and you forget. Also, if you are leaving the park and you're still in CityWalk and your kid really wants that robe and you want to go ahead and buy it, they do have it at CityWalk at the Universal Studios store. Most of the Harry Potter items that you can get in the park, you can get in the stores in CityWalk. The Express Pass. Now, the Express Pass, everyone, mostly everyone had them. Now, me and my husband didn't. But if you have the Express Pass, just know that the Velocicoaster does not accept the Express Pass, and neither does Hagrid's. So those are the two rides that I was going to mention that does not take the Express Pass. Every other ride does. And I'm not sure why neither one of those. I think it's just because they're the most popular. But if you go to Hagrid's, just know, or the Velocicoaster, just know you will be waiting a while. So that's why I said that if you had that early admission, you need to run to either one of those rides, because that's probably the best time you're going to get into those rides. Like me and my husband, we took one day so he could go to the Velocicoaster early in the morning, and then the next day we went to Hagrid's motorcycle ride. And then that way we can get on really quick. Now, let's talk about the butterbeer. Now, I absolutely love the butterbeer there. My favorite was the frozen. Now, I did try the cold. I was not, it was good, but it tasted more like just a cream soda. It did not have the wow factor that I was looking for. Now, they do have hot butter beer. Now, I just recently found out they are starting to have the hot butter beer all year round. Now, when me and my husband went in June of last year, they did not, they were not serving the hot butter beer, and I wish they did. But a shout out to the Potter Collector, who done a video and said that they were doing the hot butter beer year round. So, I was very, very happy with the fact that he said that they were starting to serve the hot butter beer. So I will definitely have to get it and do a review while I'm in the park and let y'all know how it is. I'm very excited about that. So also, if you're wanting to try other things besides the butter beer, but you want to taste other things, they do have butterbeer potted cream, and it's kind of like it looked more like a pudding that you can either get at the Three Broomsticks or the Leaky Cauldron. They also have fudge, butterbeer fudge, and me and my husband tried that. Warning on that, it is very, 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 very sweet. So it took me and my husband a while to eat the piece that we got, just because we like sweet stuff, but we're not that big into sweet stuff, and it is very sweet. So, and they do give you a big a big hunk, about that big of it. So it would be perfect for you to try it with your family so your little ones don't get that much sugar. They also have soft serve butterbeer ice cream, which is my absolute favorite. And get it in a waffle cone. It's awesome in a waffle cone. But also, they had the hard packed butterbeer, which I did not try. But the soft serve was the best. It really was. I think I got it 2 or 3 more times, just because it was so good. Also, wands. When you also get there, when you do the early admission, if you have an extra, like if you're staying 2 or 3 days, try to get to Ollivanders very quickly, just because it gets so busy in there. Now they have your character wands, and they have just your Ollivanders original. Now those are not interactive. The interactive ones are $65 a piece, but they also come with the map that shows you all the spells and how to do them. And I got, now this is mine. Now they have wand holders there at the park, but they are expensive. My mother-in-law actually made this for me, and I'm very happy. Now this is the Elder wand. Now my wand is the Elder wand when I took my test, and a lot of people are like, what? But it was. So just know when you get wands, the interactive wands, they will have a little tip. If I can get it to zoom in a little bit, that is going to be the tip. Now, the uninteractive ones are just your basic wood, or sometimes they're kind of plastic, but now these will have that little tip. Now, if you happen to get your interactive one and it is not working, and you go around and you do all the spells and it is not working, you can go back in there and tell them, hey, I just purchased this, it is not working, and they will fix it. They will fix it for you. And I don't know if you have to show your receipt. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But they will fix it for you. Now, my husband has this sleeve for his, and he got the Peter Pettigrew one. But mine was the Elder one, so I had to get it. Now, the spots that you do the wand, they will have a gold medallion on the floor, and it will show you how to do the wand, whether it be up, down, and it will tell you where to point and everything. Now, fun fact, there are a few of those gold medallions where you can do your Wizarding World spells in Nocturne Alley. Now, the map that comes with your wand, they have black lights in Nocturne Alley that will show, if you put your map underneath that light, it will show you. And that's really cool. I recently realized that. And I didn't do that when I went there, so I'm definitely going to try and take my map back and do that. But I thought that was really cool, because Nocturne Alley, of course, it's very dark and dingy, and it's very cold. So it's a great place, though, to cool off, especially in the summer, like when me and my husband went. It was very, very hot, and we were able to sit there on the ground. It was wonderful, and eat our butterbeer ice cream, because we got caught in the rain, and that was a really cool, nice spot to be able to just eat your ice cream, cool down, and watch the rain. Now, Honeydukes is in Hogsmeade. So if you go to Diagon Alley, you're not going to find Honeydukes. There is a sweet shop, but it's kind of like, it's the equivalent of Honeydukes. Now, if you want to say you went to Honeydukes, you need to be in the Hogsmeade side. Now, Honeydukes has all the candies that you can possibly think of. Unfortunately, I did not get anything there except for the fudge, the butterbeer fudge. Mostly everything there is chocolate, and I am extremely allergic to it. So I was not able to try a lot of things. Everything that I picked up was chocolate, and I just couldn't. I didn't want to risk getting sick and losing, taking a trip to the hospital. So just know that they've got some other sweets. They've got some other cupcakes and stuff. But the one cupcake that I saw was the cauldron cupcake, and it's chocolate. So unfortunately for me, I did not get to try that either. I wanted my husband to try, and I am going to eventually get my husband to try a chocolate frog and do a review on that, just so y'all will know what it tastes like, what his opinion is on it. Since he can have chocolate, I'm going to have him try it and review for me and let y'all know how it is. And I do apologize that I can't try it and tell y'all, but I just can't have it. I became allergic to it for about 3 years now. On top of that, I can't have caffeine, so no chocolate, no coffee without it being decaf. And it really makes me mad that when I see something Harry Potter food-wise and it's chocolate and I can't have it, it really is a disappointing, but I can't put my health at risk. Also, if you need to go to the bathroom, like every witch and good wizard needs to, after having so many butterbeers, right? You need to take a trip to Hogsmeade and go into the bathroom there. You will hear Moaning Myrtle talk to you. It is a kind of weird experience because I didn't know that it was her at first, and I kept hearing something, and then I realized it was Moaning Myrtle, and I thought that was really cool that they incorporated that. Of course, Moaning Myrtle was in the Chamber of Secrets, and she was in the bathroom, so what better place to hear her, right? Also, another interesting fact that y'all need to test out for yourself. If you go to talk to one of the crew members at the Wizarding World and you ask them about something outside of the Wizarding World, like Velocicoaster, or if you ask them about what they see over there, especially the people that work at King's Cross, they will act as if they don't see it. They will act as if that's the Muggle world. They don't see it. And it's really interesting how they will interact with people. It blew me away. I was on an e-scooter when I went, like I said. And when I went to talk to the night bus, he told me, that's a great way to disguise your broom. Talking about my knee scooter, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. And I just played along with it and said, yep, that's my broomstick. I got hurt, so I had to transform my broomstick into a knee scooter. But they will act as if they don't see the Muggle world, that they only see the Wizarding World. And I thought that was just beyond brilliant that they did that. Also, when you go to the night bus, the talking head, the shrunken head will talk to you. If you have any questions or anything, it will talk to you. And it actually, we went one day and then we came back, and I don't know if it was just because of my knee scooter that I was kind of picked out of the crowd, but he did remember me and my husband. And it was cool that they done that. Also, right outside of a Diagon Alley, kind of on the walkway, if you're leaving Diagon Alley to get to Hogsmeade, you will have to walk out of the brick wall and go down a little street, and then you'll be right at King's Cross. But before you get to King's Cross, they will have a phone booth just like they do in London. if you go inside and press the number to spell out magic, it will actually call the Ministry of Magic for you. Of course, they'll say they're busy and can't talk, but that's just a fun little interactive thing that I found that, you know, your kids, if they're really into Harry Potter, make sure you get them in there and snap a picture while they're trying to call the Ministry of Magic. That is just, I was blown, like I said, the detail that they spent trying to make this park as close as they could to the movies and the books is out the wazoo. I could not believe how much detail, down to when you go into the train. Let's talk about the train. If, like I said, if you have the park to park pass and you get to do the express, Hogwarts Express, definitely ride it back and forth from Hogsmeade to Diagon Alley to Hogsmeade, because they'll show you a different scene both ways, and it is phenomenal. But the fabric, I found out the fabric that they have in each of the seats, on the seats, is the actual the replica of how they had it in the movie. So down to the light fixtures and everything is the same as what you see in the movies, and I just thought that was beyond brilliant. Now, let's talk about the fiery dragon on top of Gringotts. Now, Gringotts is a ride. They do have a queue that you can go in and see what it looks like, as you know, if you go into the bank. Now, if you cannot ride that ride, they will allow you to go in that queue and then exit before you get into the ride itself. So you can still take pictures and say you were in Gringotts. But let's get back to the dragon. The dragon will blow fire every 10 minutes. So if you were trying to get that perfect shot of that dragon blowing that fire, wait every 10 minutes. It is awesome. Me and my husband got a couple of shots of the dragon blowing the fire. And warning, if you are right up underneath that dragon, you are going to feel the heat. Even if you are at the Leaky Cauldron, which is at the beginning of Diagon Alley, you're still going to feel the heat. But you will really feel the heat of the dragon if you are standing right up underneath it. And during the summer, that's not such a good, pleasant feeling to feel when you are right up underneath it. I was caught off guard once, and me and my husband were going into the Gringotts to go on the ride, and we didn't realize that the dragon was going to blow the fire when it did, and man, did we feel the heat. So it is a lot of heat coming through. So if you are one that does not like that, I would advise you to stay away and just take a picture from afar. Now let's get on to the rides itself. Now, you've got one ride in Diagon Alley, which is the Gringotts bank ride called Escape from Gringotts. Now, on that ride, just to let y'all know, if you have purses, backpacks, anything like that, they will not allow you to bring that on the ride. Now, if it's clipped to you, like a fanny pack or something, they will allow you to keep your fanny pack on. That is what I recommend you to bring. Now, if you have to have a book bag, a little book bag, anything like that, they will ask you to put it in the locker. Now, don't freak out. The lockers are free. You just have to use your little pass and scan, and it will open up a locker for you. Now, you will have to remember what locker you put that in. It'll say a number and pop it open, and when you close it, just make sure you look at your number. And when you scan it again, it'll pop that open. But just in case something happens, and you can let one of the crew members know if it does not pop open, what locker you had, so then that way you don't misplace your items. Now, that is for every other ride that is in the Harry Potter world. The other two are in Hogsmeade, and it is the Journey through Hogwarts is the castle ride, and I absolutely love that ride. With my foot being messed up, the walkway to get to the seat was kind of moving fast, so they slowed it down for me. So if you have problems walking or something, let the crew know, hey, I can't have it going this fast, and they will slow it down. They'll help you. And that was another thing that I was blown away. The crew was just very, if you told them, hey, I need this slowed down, hey, I can't, get into here. If, you noticed that a child was having problems, the crew there was just very attentive and got it done very, very quickly, and I was very impressed. Now, the other, like I said, the other two rides are in Hogsmeade, and the other ride is Hagrid's motorcycle ride. Now, that one is the most fun out of all of them, in my opinion, but it is the longest wait. I think me and my husband waited I want to say an hour and a half on that ride, but it was so worth it. It really, really was. But like I said, in any ride you go, they will ask for you to take your book bags off. But now, if you have your lanyards on, which I recommend, that way you can keep up with your passes, just stick it in your shirt. Because that way it doesn't fly around and you don't lose it. Now, another thing that I want to tell you about your passes. When you get to the hotel, they'll give you your passes and stuff, but they will tell you, and I'm going to give you this advice too, always when you get to the hotel room, before you pass out the passes for your family, go ahead and take pictures of the back of your passes. So if your child misplaces it, you can just go back up to your hotel room front desk and let them know, and they can verify your child, and they'll give you another one. That's just for your protection. They always told me to make sure that me and my husband's passes that I take pictures of them. And that's a great way in case one of your child, I don't know where it is, or, it can always get lost somewhere. I promise you, it's happened. I've seen it. So just to keep that in mind, if you'll go ahead and snap a picture of your passes when you first get to the hotel room before you pass them out to everyone, you're in good shape. Now, there is a couple other things I'm going to let y'all know. Now, walking is what you're going to be doing a lot of. So I don't really recommend anybody wearing flip-flops. I really don't. Wear the most comfortable shoes, whether it be tennis shoes. I recommend tennis shoes for everybody to wear, but if you're not comfortable in those and you're comfortable in something else, just make sure you have a good pair of walking shoes, because you will be doing a lot of walking. I have a watch that keeps up with my steps, and I probably put in more than, I'm going to say 30,000 steps a day or more, just because we were there from 8 o'clock till 9 o'clock. Now, during the summer, they do extend the time. Now, every night, CityWalk does not close until 2, even though the park may close at, say, 9 or 10. CityWalk itself does not close until 2. Another thing, because CityWalk does not close until 2, the taxis, the water taxis that get you from some of the hotels, because they're a little bit closer. Now, Dockside and Surfside have buses. Also, Cabana Bay has buses. So, now those buses were very efficient. They got us where we needed. And every 10 minutes, it seemed like there was another bus coming. So we never really had to wait for a bus. So I was very, very happy with that as well. Now, the cups. I'm going to talk to y'all about cups. Now, these cups right here are universal cups. I have one, and then my husband has one. Now, I believe both of them put together, I think, were like $30-something a piece. But now, that is kind of a one-time fee. As long as you have these cups, you can always bring them back to Universal. Now, Universal may have a different cup when we go, but you can still use this one, because on the bottom it's going to have, and you guys can't really see it, but it has a little thing on the bottom here. If you get these cups, you can reactivate them for $11 a day. You can get soda, you can get slushies, you can get whatever they have at the Coca-Cola things there. And this part right here will activate when you give them their $11. Now, these things right here are little holders, and I recommend you get them because it's going to save you from having to just carry them like this. You can take little clips like this one right here, and you can clip it onto your belt buckle, and that's how me and my husband carried ours around. Now, you can find these on Amazon. I think a pack of 2 was like maybe $6. I'm not entirely sure what they're called, but they were lifesavers. Now, there were days that we did not use those because we didn't reactivate them, but that is fine. We had water bottles. Now, what's good about this is you can also put that clip on it just like that, but these are the extended ones. So we could, push them down or whatnot. But now, if you don't activate these, you can still go up to the water fountains there and just fill them up with water. It doesn't cost you anything. And during the summer, I recommend you doing that. I think we only use these like maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3 days. But the other 2 days, we just stuck with water. Again, you can clip this onto your belt buckle and just go with it. And it saves you money, because if you are going into, say, the 3 broomsticks to eat, or going into Leaky Cauldron, if you'll go ahead and fill these up with water, you're good. Now, another key thing that I want to tell you about. In the Wizarding World, on both Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley side, there is no place for you to fill these up. You have to be outside, as in what I would call the Muggle world. You have to go somewhere outside of Diagon Alley or Hogsmeade to get these filled. Now, once you fill them up, you can go back into Hogsmeade or Diagon Alley and you can enjoy your day. But they do not have the refill centers in the Wizarding World. I don't know why, but they don't. So those were 2 items that I knew that I needed to go over with y'all. Now, the restaurants in Diagon Alley side is the Leaky Cauldron. Now, the 3 broomsticks is in Hogsmeade. Now, me and my husband did not get to go to Leaky Cauldron just because they were having an online through the app ordering, and we didn't know how to do that. We were very clueless on how to do that, so we just kind of skipped it. But I did notice that the menus are slightly different. The menu for Leaky Cauldron was more of the UK, London. They have like lamb stew, the meat pies. Where we ate was the 3 broomsticks. You have more of the traditional American food. Now, they did have some things that were London, overseas, but it was mainly geared toward the American. Now, the one meal that I got there that I pretty much had almost every day was the roasted chicken with corn and potatoes. It was phenomenal. The chicken was never too dry. It was just right. The corn was awesome. And we also got breakfast one morning there. Now, we both went with the pancakes. I think he went with the pancakes, and I went with just a regular American with bacon, the sausage, eggs, and a croissant. Now, the croissant was awesome. I just kind of made me a croissant sandwich with my eggs and bacon and stuff. Now, he went with the pancakes, and now I tasted the pancakes. The pancakes were just like you would normally get pancakes. It was nothing fancy. But the breakfast you will get, if you want a butterbeer, it is included. So if you want a butterbeer, hot butterbeer, regular butterbeer, or a frozen, you can get that, and it is included. Now, when you go for lunch, it is not included. So if you want like a butterbeer, you're going to pay, I believe those were $7.99 a piece for the butterbeer. So if you plan on getting a couple butterbeers, just know it's going to be a little on the pricey side. So make sure that you have that in your budget just for butterbeer if you plan on having a lot of butterbeer. Now, CityWalk, like I said, stays open until 2. So when you leave the park, if you forgot something, or say it's your last day there, and I forgot to get whatever at that store, go into the Universal Studios store, and most of the time, 9 out of 10 times, they are going to have what you were trying to get. They'll have the robes. They do have some wands. They'll have your cups, your mugs, your shirts, anything that you saw in either Diagon Alley or in Hogsmeade, they're going to have. I think they even had the fudge. Now, they didn't have the ice cream now, but they did, I think, had the fudge. And there is also a place in CityWalk that I wanted to tell y'all about. It is a Christmas store, and I will get y'all the name in my next video. But it has like Christmas ornaments and everything, and the selection of Harry Potter ornaments is big. I am definitely going to be getting some new ornaments for my tree. This past year, I was trying to do a Harry Potter tree. I just didn't get to it. I got sick, and so did my husband. So it is going to be a great time for me to stop by there on the way out and grab some ornaments for my tree. The first thing you see when you walk in there is like it's probably a 12-foot tree, and they have it decorated Harry Potter style. They have the Nimbus 2000 in it. They have the sorting hat, and it's amazing. You can't miss it. It's big. It's huge. I've never seen a tree that big. But they have that decorated like Harry Potter style year-round. Now, if you are wanting to get something, maybe your mom or your dad, like you like Harry Potter, but maybe mom and dad like the Grinch, they do have ornaments with the Grinch on it. Or maybe your mom and dad likes E.T., they have ornaments of E.T. in there. So it is a great place to maybe stock up for Christmas while you're walking out of that of the park for the last time. So, like I said, these were some tips that I wanted to pass on to y'all, that maybe it will help you on your trip and plan for your trip a little bit better than I did. Now that I know what I know, I'm going to be planning my trip a lot better. It is one of the most fun things that I've ever done, was go there. And if you have any more questions on maybe something I didn't cover today, but you have questions about, please put them in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer each and every one of your questions. If you have any comments, concerns, anything like that, please put them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from y'all. And if you have been to Universal and you've got pictures I'd love to see them. And you can put them in the comments below. Like I said, when I go, I will be announcing that here shortly whenever I do get word from my boss. And I will be vlogging the whole thing. I'm actually saving up to buy a camera so I can vlog everything, so y'all can see the Wizarding World through my eyes and what I see every day when I'm there. So if once I get all that information, I will let y'all know. So without further ado, I'm gonna bid y'all good night, and y'all have a very Harry Potter day.